Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and the video I just did earlier, I was discussing people writing their own routines, why they're not necessary, and what I would rather talk about here is what should someone do who doesn't really need complex programming. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, do a little bit of crafting, and let's talk about it. Meaning if someone comes to me and says, I don't feel that I want to be competitive at anything, I'm not trying to compete in powerlifting, I'm not trying to compete in bodybuilding. I just want to get big and strong with a simple program that doesn't require me to do math, doesn't require me to do periodization. What would you recommend that I do? You know what? This is really easy. This is extremely easy. You just need to focus on progressive overload and a decent frequency. That's it. All you need to do, if you're not trying to compete in anything and you're just saying, I want to gain most of the muscle mass I could gain every year, I would be like, okay, well, run a simple progression pattern. Train 3 or 4 days a week. 3 or 4 days a week. And I don't care how advanced you are. A system like this is totally workable, assuming you're not a ranked novice. And if you are a ranked novice, I have 2 novice programs that are for free. You could simply come in and say, okay, I'm going to train full body 3 days a week if you're drug free. Or you could split it up into a 4-day-a-week split. You could do it upper lower, or you could do it push pull. I don't care. Just gets complicated though when you go push pull, because then people, or upper lower, because people go, well, it's a push press and upper or lower body exercise. It's a deadlift and upper or lower body exercise is both. It's a squat, upper or lower body. It's both. And they're all amazing, fucking amazing mass builders. But now you're trying to figure out where to place them. You know, it doesn't matter. Place them wherever you want. If you do a push pull, it's easier. And I didn't say legs, because squats and leg presses are push exercises. Deadlifts are pull exercises. That's simple. 4-day-a-week push pull. Pick big, effective, heavy compound exercises. Deadlifts. Various presses for the chest with a barbell. Decline, flat bench, incline. I don't care. Overhead press, push press, behind the neck press. Presses for your chest, presses for your shoulders. How about some body weight exercises? Dips, weighted chin-ups, barbell rows, for your legs, squats, whatever type of squats you want, whatever you're comfortable with, high bar, low bar, front squat. You do deadlifts, you do deficit deadlifts, depends on your arms. I don't care. Pick the exercises you want. Come in, and on each body part, make sure you pick one big good compound, some sort of squat to get your quads, some sort of deadlift for your posterior chain, some sort of row or weighted chin up for your back. At least one type of press for your chest, at least one type of press for your shoulders. Again, I don't care whether it's a decline, a flat, a push press, a behind the neck press, weighted dip, doesn't matter. Pick one that you're good at, that you like doing, that you like going hard on. For all those exercises. If you feel you got a body part that's lagging a little bit, fine, throw in a second exercise for it. If you feel your chest is lagging, you could do flat bench and weighted dips. Problem solved. Feel like your lats are lagging, or you're already doing a deadlift, you could do both weighted chin-ups and a barbell row. Problem solved. What about your weak points, your arms? Oh God, you need more bicep. Well, if your biceps suck, throw in a curl. Throw in an incline curl, straight bar curl, some sort of curl that hits the bicep really effectively. That does not mean an easy curl bar. A little basic research will show you these things. But if you're focusing on making progress on those big heavy lifts, you'll be fine. Well, how do you progress? I don't know. I find most guys get better size per month if they focus somewhere between 5 and 10 reps. Could you go higher? Yeah. Could you go lower? Yeah. Could you periodize it? Sure. But do you want complex or do you want easy? Because if you start going higher and lower than that, you're probably going to need to periodize your training. You're going to need to do some sort of undulating periodization or block periodization. That's not necessary for people who aren't going to compete in anything. For people who just want really good gains, not the best possible gains that they can milk out doing, again, periodizing and running percentages and math. You don't got to do that. It's not necessary. Pick a weight that you can do for however many sets. I don't care how many sets you want to do. You want to do 1 set? Fine, do 1 set per exercise. You want to do 3 sets? Do 3 sets. Probably better for most guys as long as your recovery can handle it. But remember, you're going to be deadlifting 3 sets, squatting 3 sets, pretty heavy. But that's okay. As long as you're recovering, you want to do 3 sets, do 3 sets. I don't care. Do you really need to overcomplicate this? If you're just trying to make good gains, you just want to get bigger muscles, it's not complicated. It is absolutely not complicated. It's complicated to peak someone for their NFL season. It's complicated to peak someone for the Olympics. It's not hard to put muscle on people. It doesn't require complex training. Pick a weight you can do 5 reps with for all your sets. When you get to where you can do 5 reps fairly easily and you're not straining, you're not using bad form, and you're not grinding on the 5th rep, go to 6 reps. Then go to 7 reps, and go to 8 reps. And when you finally get the weight that you can get 10 reps with, when you can get 10 reps on an exercise with a given weight without grinding, without having to use shitty form to put up the 10th rep, increase the weight 5%. How much is 5%? Well, if you can't do math, it doesn't matter. Throw 5 pounds on for every 100 pounds on the bar. If you're using 200 pounds, put another 10 on. If you're using 300 pounds, throw 15 on. Real simple. 5 pounds for every 100 pounds on the bar. You're using 50 pound dumbbells for something, for a curl, then see if you can find some 52s. You can't find some 52s, find some 55s. It is what it is. You can't sweat the small stuff. You repeat the same process till you get to 10 reps again. Drop back down to 5, work your way back up. If you keep doing this month after month, year after year, using a bunch of big heavy barbell movements or weighted body weight movements, throw it in an isolation movement or 2 for your worst body parts. You know, everyone's got some weak points. It could be your calves, it could be your biceps, you know, it could be your rear delts. If it's lagging behind everything else visibly, throw in an isolation movement for it. Easy, problem solved. Just pick a good isolation movement. You do this for a year straight. You do this for 2 years straight. A program like this, and you just keep doing that, you're going to get about as big as you can possibly fucking get without drugs. Especially if you do it for 3 years straight, you're not going to get any bigger than that program's going to make you without drugs. You're going to be big as fuck for a natural or for someone with your size of frame. What about deloading? What about overtraining? Well, that could be a problem, couldn't it? Every time you have a joint that hurts in your body or a connective tissue that feels inflamed, your triceps start to hurt down here, your bicep hurts down here, your shoulders start to hurt a little bit. Do a deload. And when I say a deload, I don't mean deload that tricep. Deload your whole body. Anytime you feel nagging aches and pains, start. Take 1 week and reduce all the weights you do by 50% and cut the amount of sets you do back. If you do 3 sets, do 2 sets. If you do 2 sets, do 1 set. If you do 1 set, don't increase below 1. But cut the weight 50%. What does that mean? If you use 200 pounds, drop it to 100 pounds. If you use 400 pounds, drop it down to 200. Half. Half. If you're using an oddball number, just get it close to half. If you're using 365, just try to get down to about 170, 180, somewhere close to half. Do that for a week and then come back and re-pick up where you left off. You'll probably be stronger. Your joints and tendons will feel better. Now, in spite of that, you see what I've just broken down for you guys? I've broken down for you guys with no periodization involved, a very simplistic program that virtually anyone can use, and they will get a hell of a lot bigger and a hell of a lot stronger if they just consistently do that and they eat enough food and get enough sleep. No complexity required. Why? Because complex programming is for people seeking a 1 to 3% advantage in a competitive environment, competing against other people who are also doing everything that they can to win. Furthermore, truth be told, if you're in a competitive environment, you're probably using drugs on top of it. If you aren't, don't expect to win. If you're drug tested, you need to understand you're competing against guys who are cheating. They're probably going to beat you. You know what? That's the real world. That's why this program isn't about that. This program was about people who are not competing, who are just like, you know what? I just want a very simple way to get bigger and to get stronger. I want to get a lot thicker, fuller, bigger. I want everything in my body bigger. I'm tired of being small. What can I do that doesn't require me to do a bunch of math and run blocks of periodization and have to run a whole chart and table to figure out what the hell I'm doing? I just want to go in and lift. Done. Problem solved. You can't get any simpler than that. Well, you could do the same thing, with like a one set rest pause and do the same thing. You could do that too, but that's a little harder on some people, a little harder to recover from. But yeah, you know what? Come in and do this. I don't care what exercises you pick. I could make recommendations based on a person, but you guys know my general recommendations. Pick whatever exercises fall into those categories. Just make sure you're doing a major barbell movement or weighted body weight movement for every body part. Every body part has something that is the primary mover in. And even then, you're probably not going to have lagging points, because guys will say, well, what about my triceps? Really, you get strong as hell on a chest press and an overhead press? And an overhead press. I don't care whether it's a bench press and a push press or weighted dips and behind the neck presses. If you get strong on 2 of those every single week, you really think your triceps are going to be lagging? They might be, but most guys, they won't be. And if they are, guess what? You can throw in a tricep extension. Done. And look at that with every body part. Because you have an overlap of big, heavy compound movements that you're progressing on, every body part's going to get hit. As long as you pick a good selection of 5 to 7 really good compound movements, you're going to have everything covered other than just a couple of your personal genetic weak points. And when you find those, isolate them. Throw in a couple sets of 10 reps for them, 8 to 10 reps. Your biceps slag, throw in some curls. Rear delt slag, throw in some rear delt flies or face pulls. Problem solved. Weak point goes away. Just got to give it enough time. You got to give it a few months. So, training doesn't need to be complex. You don't need a custom program. That's all you need. Something like that basic progression in the rep ranges and workloads that generally produce fantastic hypertrophy combined with good strength behind it. Focus on heavy compounds, good frequency, progression, good form. Plenty of food, plenty of sleep. You get big. Well, you'll get big by natural standards. You won't get big by internet standards, but most of you probably already figured that out by now. But yeah, it's as simple as it gets. And if you have a period of time in your life to where you can't do all that, well, I need to back down. I've got finals in school, or I've got to work 80 hours this week. Fine, cut down to 1 set, cut down to 1 or 2 days of training a week, cut down to 2 days a week training. Cut down to just 1 set of all exercises. You'll still grow off of that. You just won't grow as fast, but you'll still grow as long as you're progressing. Simple as that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.